Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for some Forza 6. Now there is a big concern here, a lot of single digit levels in this lobby. Not a surprise because it is games with goals, so a lot of people are trying out Forza 6 for the very first time.
I'm in danger!
But of course, we do have to be concerned. So, you know, it's not going to be the greatest racecraft around from some players. The Ferrari just swerves into me as I'm trying to get around the outside. So I'm going to take a very cautious line through this corner. I think I've gotten away with it. And then at the last moment, that Corvette came out of nowhere and, well, he pretty much ping-ponged me into someone else. And then Cerberus has got all sorts of wrong then. Hit into that other guy. Ended up being the biggest victim of that was himself. So now we're behind this BMW. I'm, of course, in the Nissan GTR, the older one with the V6. I really miss this car. I really wish it was still in Forza. But anyway, so this guy's not so great around that corner. I'm going to go for the late brake, lock up massively, yet somehow still make the apex. And because I've forgotten about the curbs in this game, they are pretty savage. So I've gotten it wrong and then almost sim twitched, but I'm not using sim steering, so that was weird. But anyway, I've lost a whole bunch of places as a result of that. Down into 4th place, but don't worry, things can change very, very quickly. So that BMW's gone off a bit there. He's still going to stay in front of me, and it's getting to that point of the track where you can't really overtake, and then I'm going to put it on the grass. Come on, Devon, sort yourself out here. And then the other guy's going to have a little bit of collision, and thank you very much for first place. So it stayed like that for a while until I got an itchy nose. So not often I would say that in the video, but my nose at this point is itching so bad. So I'm in a party with Cerberus and I'm just saying, okay, I need to itch my nose. And in the process of doing that, I yanked out the controller, or the headset from my controller. And at this point I'm racing with no sound. You can hear the sounds a little bit different. I think it's just the recording picking it up a bit different for a while, and then it sort of levels itself out. But I'm trying to think of a moment when I should do this. Like, when should I put this thing back in? I've got this guy fairly close behind me, so I want to do it at a point where it's going to minimize time lost. So I'm thinking in a slow corner, it's going to be difficult, but I can do it. And then I had trouble finding the jack. And then eventually I did find it, and once I put it back in, it froze the game. But if you notice there, the timer in the top right didn't stop. Well, it did stop actually, it stopped with me, so it didn't carry on. So that is why now we are, well, we lost quite a bit from that, and then also he's in the Aston, which is pretty fast. And then also I made a few mistakes, so I lost out big time. But since the pit stop, I've been working my way at getting back to first place. Now we are on the final lap, trying to hunt him down as much as possible, trying to get past him, but not the easiest track at times to overtake. Like, this is probably the prime time to overtake. I'm just going to go on the inside. I was never going to go forward. I was just kind of, you know, showing my lights. But now I'm going to get on that curb, and that curb again, very, very unkind curb to go over in this game. That's one thing I don't miss, is the curbs in this game. They were pretty brutal. So now we've lost a whole bunch of ground as a result of that. I think I've got a pretty long second gear as well, which didn't really help. And now this is a section of the track where I was thinking, okay, I've made up a lot of time over him over the previous few laps at this little section. Surely we can do it this section or this lap, and it's not quite happened. So, you know, the rest of the track is not going to be great for me. He's in the Aston, so it's not going to be great for him either. But it's not going to be enough that I can kind of get past him just on pure pace of the car. So into the very final sector now here. Just one more corner to go. I'm fairly close, but again not close enough, and I'm really just wishing I had an extra lap at this point. But do keep in mind the timer when my game froze, when I put my jack back into my controller. So we're going to try and everything we can here, maybe try and get a bit of a cutback, get on the power a bit earlier than him. It sort of worked to a point, but I was just too far back to get past. And then as we go across the line, something interesting is going to happen. I only noticed it afterwards. The game gave me the win because the timer froze along with the game. So that's a way I've never won a race in this game, but I'll take it. So next we're on to Watkins Glen. Cerberus has gone for the BMW, which is a much wiser choice on this track than my choice, which is the Ford. The Ford's just got amazing handling, but it's not great on the straights, as you're going to see. Now I have hit Cerberus there and lost a bit of speed, but you saw how fast that other BMW got past me. And it's the same guy from the previous race, he's just changed cars. So Cerberus has kind of made a bit of a mistake there, but there's a bigger mistake coming up as we go into the bus stop. Not so sure this guy realized we were doing the bus stop until it was a bit too late, and ended up clattering into the wall, losing a whole bunch of places. And now it's just up to Cerberus and I to battle it out. So we're going to have an interesting sort of dynamic here where, you know, I'm going to be good through from here till like the end of the lap because of the corners, but he's going to be amazing in the first bit of the lap. And like we do have little straights here and there, so there's going to be bits like this where he's just going to be able to power past me and catch up. So yeah, we for now staying in front. He was planning a cutback there. I kind of stayed on the inside, and traction control beat the hell out of me, so I couldn't really do anything there. But there you see the power again, and because of the handling difference, I'm able to get a bit of a cutback and marginally take the lead, and then lose it straight away. And then I'm going to try for another cutback, but it's not going to happen on that corner. So it's really nice and fun having these sort of battles. You don't see them too often in Forza, especially I would say Forza 6 these days, because not a lot of people play it. And with Games with Gold, there's a lot of guys who are really new to the game. I know it said Cerberus was level 10 in this game, but he's got another account that he played this game mostly on, and you know, he never really played it on this particular account. So you see on the straight there, he just absolutely wipes the floor with me. So yeah, I got my work cut out for me, because you know, I think over a whole lap that car's going to be a bit quicker than this one, and especially if he's in front, it's going to be especially harder for me to overtake, because I've got to make up all that ground in the straights, and then I'm not going to be close. Well, I'm not going to make up ground in the straights, but I'm going to make up ground in the corners, or try to anyway. And I'll pretty much never be close enough to get past, which is the difficulty, because you can often have the fastest car, but just not be able to get past because of that difference in straight line speed. He's able to cover it enough. So going through this section, I started making such big mistakes here, not so much now, but much later on in the race, and especially this corner. I know the braking line there is wrong, but I was kind of overestimating how wrong. And then yeah, we're gonna save that for Idiots of the Week. Definitely an idiot on my part. I've got 2 clips for Idiots of the Week this week. The other one is Project Cars. You might have seen it on Twitter if you follow me. If you don't, you'll see it on Tuesday, I guess. So yeah, we are, as a result, behind him still, and he's gonna get it a little bit wrong here, and kind of open the door, but not really, because of the straight line speed. So we do kind of just have to keep working, and hopefully we can like not make a cock up like I did. That's going to be the clip for Idiots of the Week. But all the time that we're doing this, the guy who clattered into the wall has actually made up some ground, and he's now in 3rd place, and he's not too far behind. So Cerberus has made a mistake there. That's gonna see me getting the lead, but even with that mistake, he's still gonna be there in straight line. So that just shows how big the straight line difference is in these cars. But I am gonna hold the lead here for quite a while, and yeah. So what's happening now is we are at the point where we're thinking about our quick stops, and I've made an absolute hash of that bus stop. Not a great rejoin either, but fortunately he was far enough behind. And now I'm into 3rd place, so I'm behind the guy who clattered into the wall. Both of us haven't pitted, so yeah, he's just, I suppose, beating me on pure pace. And it doesn't help that Cerberus and I have been battling it out, because obviously we slow each other down while he's in clear air and able to just go as fast as he can go. So through the toe here, I'm thinking about quick stopping now. So my thinking right now is I'm going to do whatever the other guy doesn't do, the Brazilian guy doesn't do. Cerberus, I'm not too concerned, we'll probably just do the same thing, but The other guy, I'm going to do the opposite because I want to try and do either an undercut or an overcut. It's not technically that in this game. It's really just like an outlap and an in-lap sort of thing. So they are actually pulling quite far ahead. It looks like I'm driving pretty poorly, and I am. But don't worry, I'm gonna catch up soon enough. So going into the pits here, Cerberus is going to go for the pits. I think the other guy wanted to too, and they ended up sending Cerberus right into the wall. So coming out of the pits, I am now, 7,000 feet behind. I'm guessing this other guy is going to pit at the end of this lap because his tires are going to not be great. So he doesn't want to really go much longer than 8 laps because it's just going to get worse. So right now, I need to put in a good outlap. Okay, with him on the used tires and me on the cold tires, it's going to be a bit difficult to put in a lap that's much faster than his. But in Forza the tires heat up pretty quickly, so by now the tires are properly warm, so that's all good. So now it's just a matter of putting in as good a lap as possible and just hoping I've got enough pace to leapfrog him when he does decide to pit at the end of this lap. Now it is quite a long pit stop, so you're going to see his name pop up here that he's pitting very soon, and I might think, geez, I've still got so much of this lap to go. And there you go, you see him pitting. I've still got so much of this lap to go, but you got to remember this is a very long pit stop, so even though I might be a full sector behind him at the moment, you do make up quite a bit of that, hopefully all of that, during the pit stop process. So at least we're not getting these corners too bad. That would be I've had a few laps where it's been absolutely awful, just plowing into those corners with way too much speed, and it's not gone too well. So coming into the final corner here, you can start to see as we come around this corner, he is stationary in the pits, just leaving the pit lane now. Well, leaving his pit box right now, so he's not up to speed. He's coming up to this corner, it's going to be fairly close, but there he is on the pit exit. It's been a very, very nice move from me, to go the lap earlier. So it kind of stayed like that for the rest of the race. Unfortunately, Cerberus wasn't able to leapfrog him the same way I was because he plowed into the tire wall. He would have otherwise. But that is actually not a bad session from this. I wish more competitive guys were around so we could have had more racing between more people. But yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, go ahead and leave a like. If you're new around here, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.